Hello. Hello,
Hello.
everyone. We are live. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to do a little introduction of myself because there might be people that have not been on our channel. I am Rachel Lack. I am a documentary filmmaker, and I have been filming kids on the spectrum for over 10 years. And actually, it's been 11 because Henry was just diagnosed. My son was diagnosed 11 years ago. So I started filming Henry, and then I found other kids to film. And actually, our guest here is one of the families that we filmed, Michele. So I'm so glad that she was able to come. I have known Michele, oh my gosh, probably 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Probably we did. We used to always go to the jump, the pump it up event.
Yeah, trampoline park.
And then we did, and also I think you came to a couple of the Autism Society meetups as well, didn't you? Yes.
Yeah.
So Michele, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
Hello, everybody. My name is Michele Thorne. I am the CEO and co-founder of Care for the Caregivers. I have 2 autistic children. My son is 12 and is a little more affected by autism than others. He's still non-speaking. And then my daughter is 9 and she makes up for him in spades because she doesn't stop speaking. And then in my 40s, after my daughter was diagnosed, I kind of realized aha, like my whole childhood now makes sense. And I went and saw a doctor, and I was also diagnosed with autism and hyperactive ADHD. So it just seems to run in my family. But that's just a little bit of a background on me and my kiddos.
Great. I know I actually was diagnosed late with ADHD. So not autism, but ADHD. And I knew from even in the 80s and 90s when I was in school, I knew something was different and I couldn't pay attention in class. And I tried, but my brain always going. I always tell people it's like, and again, if you saw my computer right now, you'd see I have a lot of tabs open, and that's exactly the way my brain works. I have a billion tabs open at once, and my husband has OCD, and so does my son Henry, and he looks at my tab on my computer and my desktop, and he can't look at it. He has to go away because he's like, he has to have a clean desktop on his computer and he can have the open tabs. So it's quite funny. We're very much opposite in that way. And he actually has ADHD as well, but we're different and stuff like that. So why don't you tell us about, so November is Caregiver Month, and I wanted to highlight, I wanted to go do some lives in the next month, highlight groups, nonprofits that take care and help the caregivers. So, Michele, why don't you tell us what a caregiver is? Because I think people get confused about parents being caregivers. So tell us about that first.
Yeah, I think the ability to self-identify as a caregiver is kind of like its own superpower, right? Like we have to be able to acknowledge that when we are parents of a disabled child, there are just more. Like there's just more, right? There's more responsibilities, there's more things that you have to do, there's more sacrifices you often make for yourself and for your life, and that because of that, like we are caregivers. I mean, we're almost more caregivers than caregivers of elderly folks, right? I mean, when I think about people who are taking care of elderly individuals, and I'm not saying it's less difficult, but what I am saying is that it's just longer, right? So for people who have to take care of their loved ones as they age, they might take care of them for 3 to 5 years, but us parents, right, if we have to take care of our children for much longer because it's going to take them longer to become independent, right? They're probably not going to be independent at 18. Maybe it's going to take them a little bit longer to get there. We are in essence caregiving, 4 or 5 times longer than caregivers of those of the elderly, right? It's more of a lengthy occupation, I would say. And it does greatly affect our lives. I mean, I can just speak from personal experience, but I feel like I have like a pre-diagnosis life and I have like a post-diagnosis life, right? Like the pre-diagnosis life, I was a geneticist and I was a professor. And then my child was diagnosed with autism, and everything that I had worked for years kind of disappeared instantly. And my whole life changed dramatically overnight. And I had to step into that caregiver role, which is completely different than just being a parent. Like it is different. There are lots more responsibilities and obligations. And when you're making decisions, you feel the weight of those decisions in ways that you don't if you have a non-disabled child.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that, because I think it was hard for me to realize I was a caregiver, because it's like, I'm just taking care of my son every day, but it's true. It's like, I have to, Henry's non-speaking. He still needs help getting ready, doing stuff. As a 13-year-old, I still have to watch out for him when he's crossing the street. He can't cross the street by himself. Can't do, like, you are on edge all the time. And it's just more, again, this is my only life. I only have an only child. I only have Henry. So I don't know anything different with having a typical child. So this is my life.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about Care for the Caregiver and why you started it?
Yeah, so I just kind of talked a little bit about like that pre-diagnosis life and that post-diagnosis life. And when Jackson was diagnosed, I had to give up my career. I lost a lot of friendships. I don't know if anyone else has gone through this, but I had a lot of friends who really just didn't get it and thought like, after a few months, we could go back to being like the fun party couple. And I was like, oh, I have 2 autistic kids. I can't really throw the pool parties that I used to without them eloping and running out of the house. So we lost a lot of friends, and then relationships within families got a little bit different too, because family members often don't understand the disability space and don't know how to help in the ways that you need help. And so I really, at the end of the day, lost myself within my son's diagnosis. And for months, I was depressed. For months, I was suicidal. And when I came out of that, I just kind of looked around and I thought, my God, like there are hundreds of thousands of organizations out there that take care of my son, but who is out there making sure that I'm okay? I mean, let's be honest here. If we're not okay, I don't care how much therapy you give to my son, he's not okay. Like we need to be okay first. The parents have to be okay first, because we have to show up for our kids in the way that they need so that we can give them the support that they need. And so really that was like the driving force to create Care for the Caregivers, was just like, I don't want any other parent to feel this way. I don't want any other parent to feel isolated. I don't want any other parent to feel those suicidal tendencies and not have anywhere to go or anyone to talk to. And so at Care for the Caregivers, like our main focus is we provide free mental health counseling for caregivers. We provide free parent training classes for caregivers, because man, I don't know about you, but I did not know what the heck I was doing. I had no tools. I had no techniques. I didn't know how to help my son. I felt so unempowered. And we're trying to give that back to parents, but we're also trying to create safe spaces and community. So community events are our next big pillar. And really, that is just about having as many opportunities for parents to engage and connect with each other as possible. Disability is the largest minority group in the world. I'm going to say it again. Disability is the largest minority group in the world. There is no reason why any of us should ever feel isolated in this experience. There are thousands of us. And so this year, Care for the Caregivers is going to put on about 400 community events, which is like absolutely insane. It's more than one a day. But these events are virtual. Some of these events are small. Some of these events are really big, right? But we're trying to meet everybody where they're at so that nobody feels alone.
That's great. And you are expanding not just in the Phoenix area, you are expanding across Arizona. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so right now we have hubs in Tucson and Flagstaff. And so in Tucson and Flagstaff, we do offer in-person events. And then you guys should also look on our website and our events page. I would say about 30% of our events are also virtual because we understand that there are so many barriers to having parents, like their ability to access care and support, right? And sometimes that's transportation to a place. Sometimes that's finding a babysitter. So, we have like a book club that has nothing to do with disability. It's all fantasy books and like rom-coms and like super fun books that you can just read to kind of escape from what's going on in your house, which is one of my favorite things to do. Or we'll just have, Who Am I? Or we talk about different subjects, or we just do like BYOB night, come bring a beverage and hang out. But it's really, again, it's just about trying to make sure that nobody feels isolated and alone in this experience, and like finding those people who really, really get it.
Yeah, I love your Tuesday night caregiver night outs. And so I haven't gone to one in a while, but I do love those ones. So
Thank you. They're so fun.
Tell me about the events in November. So because it's Caregiver Month, what do you have planned for November?
Yeah, Caregiver Month, we go a little crazy because November is National Family Caregiver Month. So we are holding 5 100-person events across Arizona. So November 1st, we are doing paint night with the Arizona Opera. Did you come last year? Have you come to one of these?
And I can't make it. I can't make it on Saturday, but I'm gonna have.
Rachel, we're gonna get you a sitter.
I know.
So this is like, it's one of my favorite events. So what we do is we have an artist who pre-records a painting for you, and you get a barcode and you bring it up on your phone, and you just put the instructions underneath your easel. And so you just paint and you follow the instructions, and opera singers come in and sing to you while you paint. It's my favorite event. So that's November 1st. It's like, it's just, they only do it for us. No other organization does this event. So it's kind of nice and exclusive. And it's just like a nice night out to just not think of anything but to paint and to have this beautiful music. And then we have charcuterie and all the wine that you want, or just trying to make sure everyone is having a great time. And then I think let me check my calendar really quick, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, yeah. So then on November 8th, we're doing a day at Tempe Town Lake. So in my pre-diagnosis life, I used to teach crew. So I used to teach rowing at Tempe Town Lake. I taught there for like 12 years, and I absolutely miss it every single day. So on the 8th, we're going to go out to Tempe Town Lake. We get 3 hours on the lake, and people get to try everything that they want to. So we'll be able to do stand-up paddleboarding, they'll be able to do rowing, they'll be able to do kayaking, and they'll be able to do dragon boating. So that one should be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. That's new this year, so I'm excited for that one.
That sounds really great. You said the 8th. I will have to look into that.
Yeah, that one is on the 8th. And then let me look up really quick when our Tucson is doing a really fun like pickleball and tacos event. So they're renting out a pickleball court, like 2 or 3 pickleball courts, and then they're going to have somebody there making tacos. And again, it's for 40 people. That one's on November 14th. So that should be super fun. And then on November 23rd, we are doing a across the state event. So Flagstaff, Tucson, and Phoenix, we're renting out movie theaters, and we're going to have a Wicked night at the theater. And so we're going to watch the second movie in the Wicked series. And so that's on the 23rd. I'm excited for that one too.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. That sounds like fun too. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Yeah, it should be fun.
So are there still spots open for all of these?
Yes. We're getting close to being at capacity for the paint night with the opera. I think we've got maybe about 20 tickets left for that one. So if you want to do paint night at the opera, it's on November 1st. Make sure to register it for it as soon as possible, because that one is almost gone. And then we have plenty of tickets left for the Tempe event and for Wicked still.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is a great nonprofit. It's amazing. So I'm telling everyone, these events are really great. I love them, and it's just been great. So tell us why it's important for events like this right now, especially.
Yeah, I think right now what happens usually when we're going through moments of crisis, and I'll just say, I think for our community, this is a moment of crisis, especially if you're living in Arizona and you know that these cuts to the DDD program are going to happen. They're on a pause right now, but I'm sure they're going to come back. I think that when we get into crisis situations, what we typically do is we isolate. Right? We start shutting down, we start shutting off, we stop talking to people. So now it is more important than ever that we are in community with each other, because you know what, you're going through it, so is the caregiver next to you. And it's nice to feel that solidarity and to know again that you're not alone in these experiences and that other people are around and there to help you through it. And so, I think it's just important that we also bring levity and lightness and a little bit of joy and a little bit of fun back to our lives in the midst of all of this. Like, it's okay. Like, you have to give yourself permission. We say this to parents all the time because that mom guilt is real, right? I can't go invest in myself because I should be taking care of my kid. Okay. No, like, you also need to fill your cup. You also need care. You are also a person in this experience who deserves care and who deserves to be taken care of. And that's what we want to do. We want to try to take care of as many caregivers as possible and to make sure that they're finding some joy and some lightness within all of this that's happening, because I know that can be very hard to do. So don't isolate, please. Come out. And I always say this, people think I'm weird, but I'm like, come out and play with us.
Yes.
Come out and play with us. We try to we have a lot of different spaces that we create, right? So we do support groups, and those are spaces where if you're really dealing with a lot and you need to talk to a counselor, we have counselors that lead those support groups. You can go to those support groups. We have counseling. If you really need help with the counseling, with mental health, come to us. Email me, I can show you where our form is for counseling. And then we have like just fun activities and programs, right? Amy Ward, who is our director of Phoenix, she was like, I think this was like a year and a half ago. She goes, Michelle, can we just have some programs where we just have fun? And I was like, oh. She's like, let's just go throw axes at a wall. And I was like, I am on board with this, Amy. So she has we have now our Find Your Fun events, right? Where we'll go axe throwing, or we'll go to the Smash Room or Rage Room, or we'll do a paint night. Or in Tucson, they do goat yoga, or they do retreats at a mindfulness center with animals and horses. And it's amazing. So yeah, so now we just do our Find Your Fun events, which again is just joy, levity, connection to community in those spaces. So important right now.
It is important. And I'm going to go to the next Rage Room where I would love to go and hit stuff.
Oh my God. It's amazing. Well, I even think tomorrow night, Amy Ward is doing a pumpkin smash at her house. How fun is that, right? Let's just grab bats and let's smash pumpkins. It sounds awesome.
I know October has been hard for me and stuff. So I understand it is so important. September and October, when everything happened in September, I was just in shock about everything. And I know you guys were too, like them just wanting to drop everything, like making all those cuts. I was just like in shock.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's good for the community to have these events and come together, because we aren't alone. We are doing this together. And you're right about that. My thing is to like retreat and not talk to people and just stay at the house and watch bad TV and just be in my own mind. And I've been, I'm from Toronto, Canada, so I've been all about the Blue Jays. So that's been my self-care. But these events are amazing, and you should all come and check them out if you guys are in the Arizona area, in the Phoenix area, Tucson area, and in Flagstaff.
Well, and I'll say, even if you're not, come to our virtual events. We don't care where you are. We've had people from Canada.
Oh, really?
Join our events. So, I mean, it just doesn't really matter. As long as you can get on a Zoom room, you can come in and hang out with us.
Yeah, I love that. I love that to be more like national and international, because we are all in this together. It's not by state or country. And it's all disabilities. We have autism disabilities, but I love this community because I've learned so much from the moms that are, and dads, the caregivers that have the medical needs that I just didn't know about. Like I didn't know. And then I've met so many people through my advocating the last year. I have learned a lot this last year here in Arizona. Oh my goodness. I don't know.
Yeah. And thank you for bringing that up. I did not even mention that. So Care for the Caregivers is not disability specific. We really don't care. Like, if you're in need, we don't care what your kid's diagnosis is. And the reason for that, right, when we were starting it, I had a lot of friends and family who were like, oh, for like autism? And I was like, well, like, we're a little spoiled in the autism realm. I mean, we get a lot, right? But being a geneticist in the past, I'm like, where do those families go? Where do those families go who have like the really rare genetic condition? One of our board members, her son has a genetic condition that's like one of 65 in the world. Where the heck do those people go for support? Like, they shouldn't be left out of support because they have a rare diagnosis. So we take care of and we support everybody who is along this caregiving journey.
Yeah, and it's very important for that. Because again, I think autism is always kind of forefront with all of the disabilities, and it's not. There's so many more caregivers of different disabilities, and there's so many more disabled people of all types. So I think it's great to just have one that does it all. You're a caregiver, you're part of us. We understand. And we may not understand your journey, but we're all on it and stuff. Right? So it's amazing. I'm trying to think of anything else you want to say about it, or to wrap up.
Yeah, I just want to say, for the people who are in Arizona who are really struggling with what's happening here, Care for the Caregivers and DAPA, Disability Advocacy and Policy Alliance, have been putting together a resource guide for families who are in Arizona. We've divided this resource guide by like statewide resources and then regional supports. So that should be coming out in our November 1st newsletter. And then also, for those in Arizona, on November 7th, we're going to create a day of connection. So during this webinar, what we're going to do, it's like an all-day program. So it's 10 to 12 is going to be like mini webinars from different organizations in Arizona who support caregivers or the disability community, just so that we're aware, everyone's kind of aware of the resources that are available to them. And then from 12 to 3, if you're a caregiver who's in need of support right now, you can come into the Zoom room, meet up with one of the social workers or family support specialists who are going to be there, go into a private break room, and have a conversation with that person about what your families need and really get like that one-on-one support that you need right now. I think resource guides, they're great. They're okay, right? But really being able to get to know somebody who can actually help connect you in person with resources right then and there, I think that's where the bigger benefit is. So that's going to be on November 7th, which is like a Friday. So that's going to be from 10 to 3 o'clock. But really what we're trying to do is figure out ways, as many ways as possible, to show up for the community right now, because there is so much need. So anything you guys also need, just email us and let us know and let us see what we can put together. We work with a lot of other organizations in the Valley, probably about 25 to 30 other community partners that we have built relationships with over the last 5 years. So if there's something that you need, wherever you are, please just let us know. We can try to hook you up with the right person so that you can get support, because I know that for a lot of families, they're going to need help with housing, with food, with employment, with daycare for their children. And we are just working day and night to try to figure out how to get those resources available to as many families as we possibly can.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it's going to be, I just think about, yes, they paused the services right now, but they're going to cut it, but we just don't know how much now. So it's important for families to know and be prepared for this, because it's going to be hard, especially like I was so shocked that they didn't give families enough time. It's right before the holidays. Like, what were they? I don't know. That's a whole nother topic.
I have no clue. I've spoken to all the directors and a lot of people in the governor's office. I have no clue what they were thinking. But it's hard. And so I do appreciate that there is now a pause where families have more time to get the supports in place that they need for their children. So I just encourage all family members to do that, to really start working on how do we find employment? How do we find daycares for our kids? We're working on a couple of different, out of the box ideas to try to help with that. But how do you start getting the supports in place that you need? Because you're going to need them at some point. So I know the pause is really good and everyone is really, really excited, but now is also the time to really stabilize your position and get your family ready for when those cuts go into place.
Yeah, that's great advice. Tell us how everyone can find you.
Yeah, so our website is care and then the number 4 on the number bar, thecaregivers.org. And when you go on there, you're going to see a ton of different evergreen supports. So we have about 20 different webinars that are on there. So if you wanted to go to a conference, you wanted to learn about guardianship, or you wanted to learn about IEPs, or you want to learn about, wills and trusts and things like that, we have webinars for all of those things. So everything is free. There's no paywall. There's no give me your, email address to access this stuff. We are in service to you. So everything there is completely free for you guys. And then you'll see that we have another page that has like all of our programming. So you can sign up for interest lists for all of our parent training classes. We just did a evidence-based research project on our Thriving Together program. We'll start that up again in January. But it was really shown to improve the quality of life of all of the caregivers who participated, which was absolutely amazing. And then if you go into our events tab, you will see our calendar, which is like crazy. It is so crazy, you guys. But if you can't find something on there to do, like, let me know. I'll try to figure out how to make it work for your family. But there's almost something every single day. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 things on a day. It really is just about how do we remove barriers and how do we make sure that it's so easy for you guys to connect and to get support. And that's why, honestly, they don't even have to talk to me. They don't have to talk to anyone on my staff. It's just going to the website, clicking that register button and getting yourself signed up for different programs, getting yourself signed up for different events. Almost every single thing that we offer is free. The only time you're going to pay anything is it's like if we're giving you tickets to the opera or the Phoenix Symphony, we're asking for $5, which you're going to get like $150 seat. So, it's just like trying to make sure you show up for that event, but also making sure that we provide it to you at like little to no cost for you and your family.
That's great. And do you also have family events? Did I remember that?
So a lot of the families can go to the Phoenix Symphony events, the Arizona Opera events, the ballet events. A lot of the caregiver events are specifically for caregivers because we want you to take a break.
Yes.
And there are a lot of other organizations out there that do a lot of family events. So every once in a while, we'll do family events. Every once in a while, we'll do like respite nights where you can drop your kid off and go meet us up for dinner. And then in Tucson and in Flagstaff, because they're more rural, they have a little bit more of those family event options just because it's harder for them to find respite and find sitters and things like that. So we do try to, whenever we can, prevent some kind, have some kind of a respite event, but a lot of our events are for you. They're for you. They're not, it's like, I love all of this stuff, but it's like, man, sometimes we just need breaks. Because even sometimes when we're on a break, we're not on a break. Like our hypervigilant, crazy mind is still running, right? So it's like, how do we learn how to like disconnect a little bit and recharge and like fill up our cups? And I always like this metaphor of like, I don't just want to fill my cup up. I want to overflow it. I want to overflow my cup so that joy, that light, that laughter, all that energy goes to fill up the cups of all of the people around me, right? Including my children. I cannot help them fill their cups if I'm on empty, right? No. And so really that's what this is all about.
I think this is great. Well, thank you so much, Michele. I always love chatting with you. So
I know, I'm like, this is so easy breezy. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate you and all you do. So thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. And if you guys have any questions, pop them in the comments and I'll have Michele stop by and look at the comments and stuff. Follow her. It's in the description. I have everything linked. I think I will go back and make sure. But thank you guys again. I'm Rachel Lack from Across the Spectrum, and I'm going live on more with more caregivers and groups throughout the month of November. So please stop by. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Rachel.